Good evening, professors. And thank you for giving this opportunity to share today. And I would like to introduce myself as a special education small group ELA teacher, but also a future teacher leader who works closely with many of our students who struggle with reading, writing, and accessing grade level content. So, what I want to talk about today is how we introduce a curriculum shift in our sixth grade academy in a way that feels it should be manageable, supportive, and also meaningful for teachers. And it shouldn't be overwhelming. So, I would like to focus on four things today. One possible challenge we may face is how we can handle it, or when and how I think we should be introducing this change. And then third one is two ways we can build teacher buy-in, and then two ideas from adult learning theory that guide how I would work with teachers through this process. So the curriculum shift, what it really means. First, I want to make this clear. This shift is not about adding more work. It's all about lightening what we already do. So students experience they must experience consistency across classrooms. So it's not only one specific classroom, across all classrooms they go to. So the focus would be the first one is strong vocabulary instruction, and then more intentional text dependent questions, and the third one using data regularly to guide small groups, and then finally making sure differentiation supports all learners, especially sped, because visual learners are are more, and also visual representations are helping much according to my experience. So as a sped teacher, I see how much students benefit when expectations and routines are consistent from class to class. It's not only in ELA small group it follows, and math is small group they don't follow. No, it should be consistent across all classrooms. So one potential conflict and how I would address it is, one challenge I expect a teacher might overwhelm, or the teacher overwhelm, is we've all experienced new initiatives that come quickly, and sometimes it feels like we are constantly changing some directions. Even this year we had some standards change, so it's natural that we feel very hesitant, and also very reluctant to continue or resist and all that. But if that happens, my first step would be acknowledge that feeling, understand, yeah, instead of ignoring it, yes, acknowledge, yes, it's boring or it's overwhelming, or wow, my god, why this change, sudden change, and these things are really annoying sometimes. I accept that feeling, and I would be clear that this is not about replacing good teaching. But we are already satisfied with our practices, but then suddenly some change. So it's not replacing our goodness what we're doing, but many things we already do well would stay the same, because I've seen that standards, when it comes for the standards change, most of them were same, but only thing, here and there it was just added. So this shift is all about some alignment and support, not adding some work, not starting over and over again, not from the first, not from the beginning. So I would also suggest also starting small, maybe piloting one strategy first instead of changing everything, or when teachers or something work with own students. So sometimes no resistance usually turns into openness. And most importantly, support has to be like ongoing. It's not only for PD session collaboration every time, being present as a leader, teacher leader, supporting teachers, supporting students, collaboration during planning, and also sharing problem solving, like you solve mine, I solve yours discussions. That would would be of great help. So when and how to introduce the shift. So I would like to specify timeline and rationale. Like, I believe timing matters a lot when introducing a change. So I would like to talk about four phases. So phase one, start with conversation and input. first 3 weeks. So I'm just segregating like week wise. First 3 weeks, it's only about conversation and input, when we begin by sharing student data and talking openly about what our students feel. And also teachers should have time to ask questions and give feedback. And the reason for this is very simple. Why we do this? As adults, we need to understand why we commit to change, for what reason. So starting with the conversation is important almost for first 3 weeks. Then phase two is almost maybe for 4 to 5 weeks, almost a month. That's pilot and model. So next we try one shared strategy across classrooms. Maybe, for instance, we can say common vocabulary routine or questioning strategy. We look at student work together and talk about what worked and what did not. So this allows teachers to see success before expanding the change. Now the the third phases would be gradual expansion, maybe the next quarter. So slowly, gradually, it's just expanding. Once teachers feel comfortable, we slowly add more pieces. So sometime in PLC time, PLC times, that time becomes a space for sharing ideas and adjusting instructions. So the goal is it's the steady progress. It's not fast change or quick change, it's sudden change. No, it's like consistent and steady progress. Then finally, the phase 4 is all about full implementations. So that may be second semester, the whole semester. So by second semester, the practice feel familiar instead of new. At that point, the shift becomes part of our normal routine, normal instruction. And also the reason for this lower timeline is sustainability, because we sustain in what we're doing. Quick change often doesn't last, but gradual change, it does, and seamlessly. It's not overwhelming, it's not burdening, it just seamlessly get into the routine and instruction. Next, two strategies to promote teacher buy-in. All right, the first strategy is using data in a supportive way. That's very important. When teachers see reading levels, comprehension gaps, and also growth trends, it helps connect change to real student data, not just another new initiative. So this is not about blame. It's also about understanding where students are and how we help them grow. It's not about to point out only the negative. And then the second strategy is all about giving teachers voice in the process. Yeah, teachers should be able to convince and convene, or talk about or discuss about or shape how strategies look in classrooms, and also sharing success stories and inviting teachers to model lessons like peer observation and recognizing what's already working, and safe space sessions. So we do have that safe space sessions where we share our a part of a lesson in front of teachers, and then we take positive points or ignore or correct ourselves, so people support what the help that create. Next, two principles of Knowles andragogy. So as we work together, I keep in mind the ideas of Malcolm Knowles, who studied how adults learn best. The first idea is the adult need to know why something matters. That's why we start with data and purpose before asking anyone to change practice. The second idea is that adults being experience. So every teacher in this room, every teacher in the class or in this room, if I'm a presenter, I should say that every teacher in this room has strategies that work. My role is not to tell teachers what to do. It's all about to build, like being a facilitator, to build from the strengths already here, just support, like how teachers facilitate their students, like teacher leader facilitate the teachers. Why this matter? So it's all about my perspective. That's SPED teacher's perspective. I meant a special education small group teacher perspective is consistency is huge. When vocabulary, routines, expectations, and questioning strategies look similar across classrooms, students with learning differences don't have to relearn how to learn every period, right? It reduces frustration and increases confidence. This shift supports all students, but especially my students who need to structure the model, who need that support. So I'd like to conclude as closing. I know change can feel uncomfortable, but also how committed this learning, the new learning, is for towards helping towards student success. If we introduce the shift gradually, slowly, listen to each other, and keep students at the center of our, the center of attraction, center of decisions, everything students, this can strengthen the teachers, our entire sixth grade academy. My goal as a teacher leader is not to push change, but to support growth together. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to working alongside with all my teachers as a teacher leader as I move forward in my professional growth. Thank you so much, professors, for this opportunity.